Chuck?
Chuck, this is Eric. How are you?
Hey, Eric. How you doing, homie?
I'm fucking good, man. Just talking to you, man. I'm really excited. I don't know if you remember me.
I don't know. This guy named Eric from Quebec. I think we've done like 4 interviews in our past. Come on, of course I fucking remember you, dude.
Thank you. I always ask, and sometimes some punk don't have a good memories, but I know you had. Chuck, thank you.
I have a photographic memory, some people say. So
Thank you, Chuck. I was excited because, I have to tell you that I always knew that at some point in your career you're gonna do a solo records because I know you. You're a guys that love getting into new project, that have so much inspiration and have a lot to say. But I'm surprised it took that many years. But man, when I listen to it, it's just like it blew my mind. It's surreal. How good is it?
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
So, you remember our work. I'm going to do a little intro presenting the radio show, and I'm going to introduce yourself whenever you're fucking ready.
I'm ready, dude. I'm just sitting in my buddy's, private park in my hometown of Los Olivos. It has a locked gate around it, and I'm just sitting here with my friend, drinking a beer.
Not the place where you shoot the video?
About 100 meters away.
Cool. Fucking nice.
That place, people don't understand how lucky I am and how much luck I have in the hometown I live in. The place where we shot the video has been in my buddy's family, Frank, for 110 years. And then the park I'm sitting in right now, which is 100 meters away, has been in my buddy's family for 60 years. A different friend that I grew up with. And so it's just peace and love here, and we're very lucky because everything surrounding us is worth millions and millions of dollars. So we're just like the hippie punks sitting here laughing, going, yeah, this is our place. It's in our family. Fuck off. And welcome on the weekends when we're playing music, but otherwise, yeah, you can't come in.
That's crazy, but you know what? I don't believe in luck. I believe in people that work their ass and surround themselves with good human being.
This is true. It's all good karma that brought us to this place. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, whenever you're ready, Chuck, let's do this.
Let's do it, Eric. Let's do it, Eric.
Hell yeah, my friend, it's such an honor every time. It's a thing to follow somebody since the beginning, but to see you involved and growing up as a crazy human being that you are, it's always an honor. So man, welcome to Prescription Punk Rock, and who the hell are you?
Chuck Robertson, but I have some friends now too.
Chuck, I'm gonna repeat myself, but I always had a feeling that you're gonna release something on your own because, like I said, you have a lot of talents, and I know you'll have to go in different directions. And sometimes when you're in a band, you follow a line, and when people don't expect anything, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, the records it's about to get released. There's a single out. I want to know how you felt.
I'm sorry, how I what?
How you feel. How are you, man? With the new records coming out, new single.
I feel fucking great, man. I feel really, really good. It's been very liberating, to say the least. 26 years now with Mad Caddies. And I did one side project, Ellwood, 13 years ago, but it was, just kind of Mad Caddies without horns, and it was actually supposed to be Mad Caddies record, but I don't want to go into that, but yeah, I feel liberated to finally be a songwriter that is confident and goes to work every day and writes songs, and yeah, it's just the pandemic was the biggest blessing in disguise for me, personally, that's ever happened in my life. So that's where we are here. I have 2 albums recorded, They're done, and I'm working on a third, fourth, and fifth album right now, and they all have different concepts. And so yeah, here we are. Hi, Eric.
Wow. I mean, like, shit, you know, because it's different for everybody, you know, that pandemic thing, you know, for some people it really was hard, and for some it was a blessing, and, you know, it's cool.
It was a big blessing for me, yeah.
And it's beautiful to see that, and I'm sure people are like, yeah, cool, man, because, yeah, if you always see the dark side, it kind of, you get stuck in that. But when you see something positive, you have more time to create, to do the things you can do normally. It's crazy to see that you took that time to create something that so positive, and it's kind of refreshing. People were kind of in need of something like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. And it was very cathartic experience. I mean, I was literally on the way in March, like, last year, on the way to the stage gear rental place in LA to pick up the Mad Caddies rental gear to go on tour with Flogging Molly for a casino tour, and then go on tour in Australia and Europe and Canada and do our whole 25th anniversary tour. But for some reason, I don't know why, people have told me before that I'm a bit of an empath, but I had this feeling, we booked this Australian tour for like a year, and every time I tried to wrap my head around going to Australia and New Zealand, I just didn't see it happening. And I'm like, I don't feel right about this, I don't think it's going to happen. And it didn't. And it's interesting now, we're booking the tour for next year in 2022 in Australia and New Zealand. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going on that one. For sure. But I'm like, I knew that tour wasn't happening. I'm like, there's something that's going to happen. I don't know what it is, but we're not going to Australia. I don't know why, but we're not going. And then we got in the van that day, and then the tour got canceled, and the whole world stopped, and the pandemic started. And then, yeah, like, we did like a month of kind of like hometown party where it was like just lawlessness. I mean, it's still kind of lawlessness here. That's why I love my hometown, but I mean, we know the only sheriff here in town. But, you know, it was like we were riding our go-karts and mini bikes around and just barbecuing, and no one was worried about COVID because there weren't any cases around here, and we all live outside, and we're like, okay. And, yeah, and then we started making this music, and that was 18 months ago now? Yeah, March, April. And then it just never stopped, and we created this band that just would not turn off, Chuck Robertson and Friends. And we finished the first album in October, and then by December, Christmas time, we're like, oh my god, we have a whole other album's worth. We gotta go record them. And so we went up to Sonoma and cut a second record. And now we're working on album 3, 4, 5, different concepts. But yeah, it's just, it won't stop. It's really fun, and it's all because of the pandemic and just getting back with old friends and community, you know?
It's like, you know, you get in your 40s and you ask to, you know, best friend and crowd to go surfing with you, and you find that beautiful place where it's non-stop the best wave.
Yeah, right.
And that's cool because, you know, it's and I'm happy to hear that because, you know, here it was really bad. We got actually like closed down. We cannot go outside a few months ago for like.
I know, and I felt so bad for my friends in Canada and England, people that got locked down. I'm like, I'm just in this little village in this country town. We never got locked down, and we just stayed outside, and that's all we did. And we only know 2 people that got COVID. You know, I won't name names, but one of them was one of the Mad Caddies. You know, but it was no big deal. But it was like, yeah, they got it from this and that. But it was just, we were very lucky to be very unaffected by the virus, and we have a lot of gratitude for that.
Yeah, here, you know, it's weird. My little girl got it, but they said that she have it just a little, and I'm like, well, how can you get just a little of that? And
yeah, viral load. That's what they talk about. Yeah, she just got a little bit.
That's weird. So, but yeah, I think that's the cool thing. When you take something negative and change it to something positive. And, like I said, I felt that it was a really happy album, that you were at that, that perfect paradise. I felt that you were great. No worries, nothing on your mind.
Yeah, the first album is very mellow. It's 7 songs. There's 8 tracks total, because the 8th track is the acoustic demo version of Mountain Flower to finish the album. But it's super mellow. It's like California, Central Coast rock, nice slide guitars, and just chill. And there's songs about new love and about kind of getting over my divorce and my old relationship. And then we fast forward like 8 months and we get into recording the second record, and then all of a sudden it's fucking Mad Caddies without horns. And I'm like, holy shit. And we're recording on Pete Townshend's board from The Who, his knee board, at this world-class studio where Tom Waits recorded Primal Tribe and Say Some More and Nirvana.
Wow.
And we're like, holy shit. And we lay down all these tracks and we're like, okay, here's the way of the future. And it's just basically like my vibe transferred from this mellow, kind of cool Americana rock sound to like, yeah, okay, now we have some ska, we've got some reggae, we've got some punk, we've got some rock, we've got some pop, we've got it all. And so that's the second record is like totally different, and like I think 10 or 11 songs or something. And then the third record, we're going delving into duets with my buddy John Snodgrass. We've already recorded 2 songs. John Snodgrass from Colorado, Drag the River.
Hello, John.
Hello, John. And yeah, we did 2 duets already a couple weeks ago. And so we're going to do a record with that. And then our fourth record is just going to be like a regular record. And then we also want to do our studio live cafe, like acoustic. What was the guys from Cuba that did the whole thing that blew up like 20 years ago? That was so fun. Can't think of their names right now. But anyway, we've got some really cool songs that we're like just inviting our friends over from the neighbors, and we're keeping stand-up basses and classical guitars outside and trumpets outside, and getting this live vibe. We're like, okay, cool, let's just do a live record of original music. Has anyone ever done that? We're like, cool. I don't think anyone's ever done a live record of original songs. I'm like, let's do that. Okay, so that's record 5. And it'll be, early spring, hopefully. But yeah, I can't stop, Eric. I can't stop.
But
I don't know what got into me in the pandemic, but I can't stop.
The thing is, when you force things, and I think that every band reached that point that, you have some album that really work well, and you force yourself to recreate that, and you kind of lost yourself in the process. And that's where I think that, there's the 3-4 album that the band are like, I don't know, man, what we were thinking. But I think it's just it has to came naturally. It has to be, when I said the wave, it's a vibe. And I think that you're in the perfect vibe right now, where everybody is creative and, you're at the right place, right time, that. And it's like, when you're selling something to somebody, it's a state of mind. It's not just like trying to push yourself or trying to have the perfect speech, or it has to be a flow. And I feel that with what I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like something that's repeated for the last couple months at our band practice by my bandmates. It's like none of us are in this for the money. 2 of my guys are in their 60s, and me and Nick are both in our early 40s, and we're both successful and independently financially, like, okay, so this isn't about the money. This is about the fun. And it's a point that's brought up over and over again at band practice. Like, my buddy Nick, and, we're adults. He doesn't have kids, but I have a son, and I have an ex-wife, and, blah, blah, blah. I'm a single dad. And, you can't be partying all the fucking time anymore. And so, like, yeah, you have to go, like, a couple weeks and not drink beer. And, like, so Nick and I are, like, always doing the okay, didn't drink beer for 2 weeks, didn't 3 weeks. They're having the competitions, how long you can go without drinking a beer, you know. And then, you know, but what it comes down to is like, yeah, it's not about beer or weed or any of that. When we get together and we play for 3 hours as adults and work on these songs and play them and keep writing new songs, he's like, man, there's just nothing I look forward to than like the middle of the week after working all day and lighting up a big ass joint and playing with my boys. I'm like, yeah, pretty fucking cool. It's interesting. Our bass player has kind of naturally not drank beer for like 20 years. Like he'll have a big 3 beers a year. He like smoking weed, and he's like 62. And then me and Nick, we kind of go in and out of drinking beer, but we love smoking weed. But it's like, man, it's kind of cool. We're almost in, and then our drummer doesn't drink beer at all. Is a big weed head, so we're almost in this like sober California sober band. It's weird. Like we kind of basically just smoke weed and then drink a little bit of beer, but it's kind of fun.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I think that, you know, I'm 39, and I see a lot of punk getting out of the booze, you know, or naturally get out.
It's worthless. It's like you gotta save it for the fun times, man, because otherwise it just bums you out, you know.
It's true, and since weed is legalized, people realize that
now weed is totally cool. It's like medicine. It's like, dude, everybody, and you can microdose mushrooms and LSD, and you know, it's like, let's use the real medicine, folks. Let's drink tea and smoke some weed and drink some tea and read some fucking books and take a couple weeks off drinking. It's no big deal. Like, no big deal at all.
it's so true, and I think that the scene is kind of at least like the new wave of band. You know, they're really more clean than it was. But we were born in the '90s, where like sex, drug, and rock and roll. But we saw all those fucking rock stars die.
Meth and all that bullshit. We're like, fuck. Look at the pictures of us, Eric, back in the '90s. We looked horrible. We all had bleach hair and like white skin. We ate McDonald's and drank Bud Light. We looked horrible. We look so much better now in our 40s. Guarantee it. Because we're healthier people. We're healthier people.
It's so fucking true, man. Yeah.
So true, man. I feel better now at 43 than I ever have in my entire life. Because I exercise, I drink water. It's like, yeah, it's amazing what happens when you take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Have a ton of fun and still crush a bunch of beers and smoke a ton of weed and, like, eat mushrooms when it's appropriate, you know? It's like, hell yeah.
It's so true. You know, it's always to have... When you do things, you have to do it intelligently. You know, you can, like, smoke joints, but say do it at the right time. And, like, the same thing with mushroom. I love mushroom, but I don't fucking do mushroom on weed.
Right time.
But when I want to, you know, see morphing, and sometimes when I do mushroom, I always find, you know, that life questions, and I always forget what is the answer. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it, that's life, man, I get it, and then, oh, fuck, what was it?
For like a week after, and you're like, cool, it's just like zippity doo dah, like, oh, I feel great, I ate mushrooms, I feel so good.
You gotta...
I love life again. I love life again.
Yeah, and you're gonna love, you know, being back to Quebec since, you know, the legalizations we have. We're
so neat.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are legalizing mushrooms. I know California is legalizing them too. It's a great time to be alive, dude. And UFOs. Can we talk about UFOs?
Yeah.
They're real, and like I've always known it, but now my friends can't call me crazy anymore. How fun is that?
Yeah, but you know, I'm like you. I believe in UFO. How can we be alone when universe is infinite? It's like it's really selfish to think that we're all alone. You know, it's just like they're too intelligent for us. That's the only thing why we don't see them or anything. I think at some point, but I think it's like you know, it's cool to talk about that. But when you go like Tom Delonge, it's just it get people bored about that, because I think everybody knows it's out there.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I watched Tom Delonge this morning on YouTube on my iPad on Joe Rogan from 3 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wanted some perspective, because I'm like, fuck, the UFOs, it's all real now. But let's see what Tom Delonge said 3 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, it's been 3 years. Shit, it felt like yesterday. But anyway, watch it. Like 30 minutes of him on Joe Rogan. It was so interesting. It was like, oh yeah, he's saying he can't say this, he can't say this, but it was very definitively like, yes, the government has alien bodies, has alien spacecraft, and they've had them since the 50s, and cool, this is like a big thing for humanity, and I'm very interested in it. Isn't this neat?
Because the thing in this 50s and 60s, people were not ready for that. I mean, if you were gay, like, people would beat the hell out of you. How can you be open with, some species maybe more intelligent than you? As human, we think that we are the most evaluated species. We are not. We're the worst. I'm sure of it.
We're the worst, yeah.
But,
we invented it. It was like, what was the homeboy said? It was like, yeah, we invented the atomic atom, and then, like, we could split it one way to save Earth and make power. We could split it the other way to blow people up. What did we choose? We blew people up. I think John Stewart the other night was like, yeah, duh. We're idiots.
Yeah.
The last word of humanity is to be like, ha ha ha, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you saw any encounters, or did it happen to you?
Did it? I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Did you saw any encounters? Sorry, my French. I'm French, so my English sometimes is fucking awful. I mean, did you have any contact with any other intelligence? Yeah. Sorry, my question was really bad.
No. It's a good question. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. But yes, I have. I've had a very intense UFO experience that was shared with 6 grown adults, and it was I was basing about how old my son is. Charlie is 6, so let's see, where are we? 2021, 6. So this was like 2013 or 14, and we're President's Day weekend at the State Beach campground, and 3 professional couples, myself and my ex-wife, and my buddy, and my other buddy, and their 2 wives. And we were very sober. It was like 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday on a holiday weekend. We had a couple beers. We just finished dinner. We were smoking some weed. And we look up in the sky, and there's this fucking giant orange light. And my ex-wife's like, oh, it's one of those Chinese lanterns, in the campground. I go, fuck no, it isn't. The thing's fucking like 90,000 feet in the sky. It's in space. And we all ran out. And, yeah, like a couple hundred people, we all had a simultaneous experience. And this thing fell from the sky. It was the size of the moon. And it was the dimensions of I like to call it, for layman's terms, a fried egg. So 1/3 of the UFO was a yolk, like the hardcore center, which was like orange and gray yellow. And that took up 1/3 of it, and then 2/3 of it was purple and white plasma light that was moving around. But it was a perfect circle, but it was way up in the sky at night in space, and we're walking in it from a beach, state park at a beach, and hundreds of us are watching this thing at this point. And we watch it for like 3 minutes, and it falls from space, and then it stops at like 20,000 feet, and just does a perfect right angle turn, and just heads up towards the military base. Disappears after like 3 minutes, but yeah, it was pretty intense.
Wow, man. You're fucking lucky. I wish I could see that. Like smoking a joint and just like,
I talked to NASA guys like a couple years later that wine tasting here, and they're allowed to talk about it now, and I've seen a cigar ship and some other shit. They go, oh yeah, the cigar ship, that was us. He goes, that was our unmanned space drone, because the plasma ship you saw, that was them. Because we watch them all the time, bro. But we're allowed to talk about it now, which is really cool. It's so neat. Because SpaceX and NASA is like 40 miles from me, where I live, in Mad Caddies are from, so.
Fuck, yeah, that's so cool.
This is the hottest UFO spot on planet Earth, dude.
Yeah, but Quebec is not a spot.
Santa Barbara to, from Baja California to Santa Barbara is the hottest UFO spot. I'm like, dude, I've seen like 10 of them in my life. I'm like, yeah, I look every night just for fun.
Oh,
and when
shit.
you see them, it's like, holy shit. Me and my buddies, last year, Jeff, when we were trimming weed, like, last year, daytime, dude. We watched it for 5 minutes. We got my dad to come down. He saw we had 3 parties now, all filming it, and it flew all around our town, and then just took off like towards LA. Like, fuck, that was crazy.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I think Quebec is too cold for them.
Yeah, Canada, you guys have some good UFO sightings, but it's only around your nuclear installations, so that's all they're interested in. They don't want the cheese or the good sausage or anything, or the good punk rock, They just want to know about your nuclear weapons, that's all.
That's all they fucking care. And we don't have much.
Yeah, well, it's like that silly guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I hate him. He's an insufferable cunt. That astrophysicist guy, the American guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he always denies UFOs. He was just on all the shows, and they're asking about UFOs. He goes, no, why would they follow a Navy destroyer? I'm like, let me debate this guy. I'm like, why would they follow a Navy destroyer? Because it's nuclear powered, and it has nuclear powered warheads on board, and all the planes are nuclear powered. That's what these guys are interested in. They don't want us playing around with that crazy technology. They don't trust us with that. And so they're worried.
It's just about the energy.
It's about the energy that goes, guys aren't supposed to play around with this as toys, you silly humans. Be careful with this shit. It's real. It's the real deal, Come on, be careful.
And the problem with human...
That's why those UFOs are following around the Navy destroyers. Why? Because they're nuclear powered. It's very, very simple. I'd be interested if I lived on another planet and I saw these guys starting to play around with these dangerous weapons. Wouldn't you, Eric, be interested?
For sure. But the thing is, do you think they're trying to help us, or what I think is they don't fucking care about us. I'm sure they're just waiting us to blow up and take what the leftover are.
No, my heart of hearts, and this is my pure soul, that I believe in love, and from everything I understand about the extraterrestrials, no, they're not allowed to tell us anything because we have to figure out to stop fighting amongst ourselves so that we can figure out unconditional love as a species. And then we get to be in the intergalactic party, And the only way they're allowed to intervene is if we try to fuck up with a nuclear weapon and try to blow each other up. And they're like, okay, we gotta get in there. We gotta stop these dudes. But in my heart of hearts, I believe, they're not allowed because we have to do it on our own. We have to learn unconditional love on our own. And that's what we have to practice every day. And I think we do a good job in the punk rock and ska community of practicing unconditional love. And it's the message we have to send to everyone, Because that's the whole message about being alive. That's it. The only thing you can do is unconditional love.
Yeah, wow, it's so true. And you have a kid. I have a little girl. She's 11. You met her, but I just have a son, man. He's 6 months.
Wow, congratulations.
And when they look at you, what is, it's real love. It's like you said, unconditional love. They're gonna love you forever.
Unconditional love is the only point of the universe. And then we get to live these lives over until we figure it out.
Yeah, cool, man. I just have a conversation with a friend a couple of weeks ago, and he telling me that he believed that you're doing your life over and over again till you figure it out.
Absolutely, the whole tradition that's been passed down from many generations. So we have to pay attention to those things. Yeah.
Wow. So it's cool. Maybe in another life, man, we were doing something together, and that's why we're so bound over the course of years. You always been down for the radio show.
I say it all the time that my friends and I, we all travel in the same soul groups, And sometimes maybe your father or your brother in the last life is your best friend or your lover. You never know.
Yeah, I believe in that too. And yeah, Wow, it's so cool, man. You know, that's what I love about you, man. It's never a fucking interview. I hate interview. I'm more in the chit chat with somebody that love music and.
Well, I appreciate you, Eric. We've been talking for a long time, and yeah, we can talk a little bit more about the new music. Then fuck, we're doing good, man.
I love the flow. We went through the records to Aliens, and then we get back to the records. Yeah. You know, I repeat myself, but when I'm looking now with music, I'm gonna turn 40. I'm looking for something original, something different, you know. And I think the problem with punk rock right now is that no one really takes risk anymore. They go to that direction that it's working. And it's cool, it's a choice, but, you know, when I listened to the 7 songs, I was like, shit, that's different. And, you know, that's
I took a big risk, yeah.
But if you want to make it do something, you have to take risk. If you go to over and over again, you're just a copy of yourself, your Spinal Tap.
I believe in the songs. Because the songs are real and they're a part of me, and so I believe in them, and I'm like, fuck it, just put it out. Fuck.
I respect that, because it was just about, you know, the passions and the moment that you creating with those songs, and just throw it to people. And guys, it's for you, man. Do whatever you want with that. Live the emotion that you have to live with that. But I think it's gonna touch a lot of people.
Thanks, man. I hope so too. The response has been really cool since the release of Mountain Flower. Everybody likes it, which is beautiful, and I just feel a lot of love. That's wonderful. And a lot of gratitude for that. It's really cool.
And the other thing is, you know, you have that natural voice. I know you're gonna laugh, you know, and, you know, when people said that to me, I'm like, what the fuck? But you have that radio natural voice, you know, that everybody's love, you know. It's not an aggressive tone or something. It's just a perfect note, you know. It's like Dexter Holland from The Offspring. I don't think they got sell out because they signed to a big record. It was just that voice, and it reached everybody out. And I think that with the Mad Caddies, since the ska scene, you were kind of stuck with that ska image. Oh, Mad Caddies, they're a ska band. They're way more than that, because every record is different and it's not about ska every time. But I think with that record, you're gonna reach more people that gonna take it more seriously.
Well, I appreciate that. My dream is, you know, to play to families in front of an amphitheater with a blanket laying down in their cooler, and they can listen to my sweet, silly, sad love songs and happy songs, you know. Because I see that as my second half of my career, you know.
Yeah, because you can turn like sad song into something like it's lightful and enjoyable.
Yeah, but there's happy songs, there's sad songs, but they somehow evoke the same emotion. It's weird to me. I don't know. It's strange.
So things seems to get back to normal. How it's gonna be the rest of the year? Is there any possibility of playing, of touring with the band, and how's it gonna be for you?
Yeah, well, we're playing every weekend in our hometown, and we're starting to book local shows, and we have a September tour booked with Chuck Robertson and Friends in John Snodgrass in California. And as far as Mad Caddies, I think we booked, Punk Rock Bowling. We're doing like a pool party, Pepcad, and we're doing like one show in Denver, and that's it for this year. And then next year you're going to see Mad Caddies. But this year, the summer and fall, is going to be doing a bunch of shows with my solo project. We practice like 3 times a week. We can play for three hours. All original. All original music.
cool, man. It's great news. And, people, it seems like 3 hours is a simple thing. People are like, yeah, when they go to show, keep going, keep going. But the thing is, when you start up a band and you do a 45-minute show, you want to kill yourself, So 3 hours, it's
so
really
weird,
something.
Dude. Like, I can't even think about playing like 3 hours with the Mad Caddies. Like a normal set for us would be like an hour and a half. I'm like, but with the new band, it's like, wait, we've already been playing for 3 hours? They're like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit. So much fun. Because we have like 30 songs and we can't even play them all in one set. And so we have 3-4 albums worth of material, so it's just so fun to play all these new songs live. And it's all ranging from country to reggae, to ska, to rock, to punk. And
Is there any way to encourage that project directly? I know a lot of people have music budget. And
well, that's the big thing. It's like we're doing a thing. No one's ever done this. Like we did a Kickstarter, but the record's done. So we're essentially using Kickstarter as our record label. And the only place you can pre-order vinyl for the Chuck Robertson and Friends product is on Kickstarter. So we've got like 20 days left. So yeah, the idea is to press a certain amount of vinyl and try to move it through Kickstarter. And it's just interesting because most bands like ask for donations and like, okay, now we're going to make a record and you're going to get it a year from now. It's like, no, we already paid for it. We made the record. We just need money to press vinyl. And because the rest is in the digital realm now, where everyone knows. But vinyl's important for collectors and true fans. And so we want to make that like a reality. So that's pretty much the whole point of the Kickstarter is to raise money to print vinyl and t-shirts and stuff for everybody else.
Yeah, because it really costs a lot. Vinyl costs a lot. People are whining sometimes. It's $30 to get a fucking vinyl. Yeah, I know, but it costs a lot for the band.
It's $15 to make and $10 to ship, and we're barely making any money. But we want to get this fucking thing in your hands because it's a cool thing and it's a collectible thing. Yeah.
It is. I get caught in that. I still fucking buy vinyl and color edition. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, CDs are dead. It's like, come on, we got t-shirts and we have vinyl, and then everyone gets the album digitally, of course.
I hope people, will understand that life has stopped us for a reason. We have to understand that everything is kind of wrong right now. Capitalism has taken everything.
Everything's a little bit wrong, but we're going to fix it.
We have to, and I think that's a message of hope that to see that everybody's just want to have a good time. It's we're getting there, and we have as human to look in ourselves in the mirror and think to other generations what we're gonna left. Our parents, I think they try hard, but they failed changing the society. But I think we have an open door right now, and we have to do that.
We have an open door. Absolutely. I believe in that.
So, Chuck, before we leave, you talk about Ellwood at the beginning of this interview, but I love the records. Is there any way it's gonna happen something with with that project?
No, it just turned into Chuck Robertson and Friends. It's the same project. We're gonna play songs from Ellwood on like our new records. I have some old songs from Ellwood that we're going to re-record and that we play in our set. That's super fun.
Yeah, I just asked. My question was what that risk. What I want to say is that is there any way we can hear Ellwood songs? I love the records and I never heard any songs.
We play a couple Ellwood songs in the Chuck Robertson and Friends set, and it's fun. And the whole point is like. Ellwood was just a mistake because it was really hard for me to market my band Ellwood without the name Mad Caddies or Chuck Robertson, so no one knew who we were. So it was just like, it just failed. And I realized, I'm like, okay, I have a band called Mad Caddies. If I do anything solo, it just needs to be my name, Chuck Robertson, so people know who I am. And so that's the kind of the new beginning. But yeah, it's a continuation of Ellwood.
I like it because because I repeat myself. I love that records. The songs are good. Again, it's different, and that's what I love. I don't want to hear any Mad Caddies or something. I just want to hear, and if it does, it have to be different, and that's the direction of it. It's totally different, completely, and I love it.
And that's the second, third record. Everybody's gonna get to hear it this year. It's gonna be exciting. I've got all this music to share with the world. Really exciting.
You have a special place in Quebec. I think everybody's always love your project and everything, and you have so many friends out there. So we're gonna wait.
Yeah.
And I know things are coming to an end. So. Yeah, I can just fucking wait to party. So I'm rolling the joint when you're gonna come to Quebec. If you have a day off, let's fucking do mushroom or something and talk about aliens, goddammit.
Let's talk about aliens. It'll be soon, Eric. Fucking thanks for the interview, man.
Maybe they're gonna follow you and I can see something, damn it.
Right.
Thank you, Chuck. You're the best. Thank you for the friendship. I know...
I appreciate it.
You've always been close with the radio show. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, brother.
I love you. And so wait's on me for the next week. Send me the bills. Fuck it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cheers, Chuck. I'm going to send all the details. We're going to do a huge special. And, man, we're going to play the 7 songs.
Fuck yeah.
So bye-bye, Chuck. Have a nice... end of the day. What time is it right now in California? You have 2 hours free?
What time is it? 6 o'clock. I'm about to leave the park and recording studio, and I'm gonna go home, go eat some dinner, and go to bed.
Wow, I'm pretty close to bed right now.
Yeah.
So Chuck, have fun in studio. Bye bye, my friend.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Cheers.
Bye. Love you. Cheers.